was a high priest after the order of Melchizedek and not after Aaron, because as I showed way back there in Genesis, that Melchizedek was not a priest under the law. He was not a priest of the tribe of Levi, but he was a priest of all. He covered the whole spectrum of the human race. And Christ is not a high priest after the order of Aaron, but after the order of Melchizedek. Now that means that he is not just the high priest of the Jew, but he's the high priest of whomever we might be. Now you got Hebrews chapter 9. So I think that early that Sunday morning when Jesus would not let Mary touch him, he still had to immediately go into the very presence of the Father. He said he was. He's going to ascend to the Father, to the God of Mary. And now verse 11 of Hebrews 9, but Christ become a high priest of good things to come by a greater and more perfect tabernacle. Now, those of you who were with us three lessons back, you remember that when Moses was instructed by Jehovah up there in Mount Sinai to build this tabernacle, what did he give him? A pattern of the tabernacle in heaven. Don't lose sight of that. The tabernacle here, built at Sinai, was patterned after the very floor plan that's up in glory. Now here it is again, that he went into a greater, a more perfect tabernacle. And here's the secret to the whole context. This tabernacle wasn't made by Jewish craftsmen. This tabernacle was untouched by human hands. That is to say, not of this building. Now, if you've got a Bible with marginal helps, that word building should have better been translated what? Creation. So this is not on the earth. This is not of this creation. It's in heaven. Now I'll go into the next verse. So neither by the blood of goats and calves, as the high priest of Israel did, but by his what? His own blood. He entered in not once a year as the high priest of Israel. He entered in how often? Once. See? And that's the key word through the book of Hebrews. The word once. For this he did once, having obtained eternal redemption for us. For this he did, that is in this verse, for this he entered in once into the, where? The holy place. Well, what's the holy place? The very presence of God, at the mercy seat of God, and there he sprinkled, he presented his own blood. Now I know the first thing we'll say, but wait, less. It ran down Golgotha's hill. It ran down that old rugged cross. Now wait a minute. Is anything impossible with God? Granted, it ran down into the earth, and I think the picture there is that it was taken up by that which was cursed. But is it hard for God to bring that blood back into a container that he could present in glory? I don't think so. And my own idea is that after he presented his blood there in the very throne room of heaven, it's going to be for all eternity. And every time one of us may be confronted, I doubt if we will be, but if we were to be confronted, well, why are you here? And somebody may ask me that. Why are you here? They may ask you, why are you here? You know what our stock answer is going to be? There sits the blood. There sits the blood. It's going to be an eternal testimony of why we're going to be in glory. You know, a lot of people may go to a funeral of a believer, and they come away almost disgusted that maybe the pastor preached as if he knew that this man's going to be in heaven. And they come away, hey,